How to set expectations with your team. I've been doing this for a long time, hundreds and hundreds of sessions, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about. As entrepreneurs and business owners, we know that if we have a clear plan, anything becomes possible. And if you can have a clear plan, a clear process to create that plan, and a way to create clarity with your partner or spouse, you can drive to amazing heights. All right, so first off, right on, good for you. The fact that you're even thinking about this stuff. That, to me, is the leader's number one obligation. Sounds silly, but most leaders blow that off. They think they get stuck in the weeds and all the mechanics of shit. But it's not. Remember, as teams grow from here to here, it's different skills to grow from here to here. So how can you elevate to get in so you can achieve that? Part of that comes through creating clear expectations. 5 steps for clear expectations. It's going to be around a clear vision, simplified accountabilities, success metrics, consistent communication and accountability, and a healthy team environment. We'll go through each one of those. All right, so when we talk about a clear vision, it is my opinion, and I have seen this hundreds and hundreds of times, and I've helped teams scale from entrepreneurial all the way to multi-billion-dollar valuations, is the number one accountability for the senior leaders, regardless of if you're a leader of a department or the entire organization, is to be crystal clear on the vision. The vision being, where are we going? What does success look like for our organization and for our department? That's the number one. The second thing is going to be, how are the individuals on your team contributing to that success? And I love to steal the quote from Mark Twain that says, "I'm sorry this letter's so long. I didn't have time to write a short one." This is where if you can invest the time and energy to write a very simplified version, it takes a little bit more time, but it is so much worth it, to clarify what is the vision for those individuals so that everybody understands, they know how they're contributing. In fact, in some organizations and leadership teams, I'll have the senior leader create the expectations. This is the vision of where we're going, and then have each team member create their own vision so that they understand how everybody's contributing. And then as a team, one voice, one vision, that unit begins to come together to see how they're going to achieve it. The next thing is coming up with simplified accountabilities. This is not a job description. This is not a 5-page accountability piece. This is 3 to 5 bullet points that say that this is what somebody has to be accountable so they know they're successful. I can remember I worked with a larger construction company that had probably 2,000 employees. And the accountabilities for their HR person were pretty simple. One was to make sure that she managed and led her team, creating the vision, expectations, things around that. Easy enough. The next thing was for her to get people, keep people, train people, and stay out of trouble. Now she had a whole team of 30 people just to do that. But ultimately, and I know this sounds sort of hillbilly, but if it's really simple and clear, when they were having a meeting with their leadership team, if they didn't have enough people, it was pretty clear who was accountable for that. If they were getting in trouble from an HR perspective, it was pretty clear who was accountable for that. If they had high turnover, they knew why. Now, it didn't mean that this person operated on an island by themselves. Very much they were integrated with the entire team, but they were the ones who were accountable to drive those things. So creating some form of clear, simplified accountabilities. Some organizations will use something they call an accountability chart. It could be a functional org chart, whatever that is. But less is more, and simpler the language, the better. The next thing is going to be making sure that you have success metrics. And when I'm helping teams develop these functional accountability charts, if they can go through and define, hey, how does that person know, without any shadow of a doubt, that they won or lost that week? What is the metric that they know that they won with? Sales is easy. We get all the way down to finance and some of those are easier, but usually they have an idea. So if you can come up with a metric, typically a leading indicator, saying that this is where we're going and the outcome is the success, what are those things? So as an example, if you're thinking football, the defense, their job is to how many yards can they prevent the other team from achieving? If they limit the yards, that's good. If they can get so many turnovers, that's good. Now, they may end up losing a game, because the offense completely falls flat, but they know that they did their contribution to the outcome, the lagging indicator being the score. All right, so we have clear vision, simplified clear accountabilities, success metrics, and then some form of consistent communication and accountability. Consistent communication and accountability are going to be for those individual teams, but how is it we're holding each other accountable? That we create an environment where we get to understand, hey, did you win this week or did you not? Did you do what you said you're going to do last week or did you not? Are you progressing towards your quarterly objectives? Are we all moving along? Because if we can do this in a consistent cadence, and sometimes we'll do daily stand-ups, sometimes people will do it at a minimum once a week, but creating that environment where they can come together to do three things in a good meeting. A good meeting consists of three things: communication, accountability, problem solving. Having that consistent environment is important. And then the last thing is, how is it we can create that healthy environment so that when we're in those meetings, that when we're working with one another, we can compassionately and passionately, but directly call each other out. Not for my insecurities, not for my vertical or my fiefdom, but for the betterment of the organization. And the rest of the organization, people there can call me out if I'm getting in my own way, if I'm missing the boat, if there's something I should be doing, so that we're holding each other accountable. Again, not in a negative way, but in a very positive way for the betterment of the organization. So when it comes down to how you set expectations with your team so that you can be ruthlessly consistent, pretty easy. It's those 5 places: clear vision, simplified accountabilities, success metrics, consistent communication and accountability, and having that healthy environment where you can hold each other accountable. Now, if you found some value of that, hey, right on. Please subscribe to the channel, share it with somebody else. If you have questions or you're interested, you're always welcome to reach out to us at aspiringsolopreneur.com. We've got a full course. If you're going to start your own gig, lots of videos, good stuff. Right on. Keep smiling.